Let's begin. We'll connect to our Ujjaya breath. And can you feel the brain? Can you feel your heart? Can you feel your pelvis? Breath plus how we configure our awareness, how our attention lands, how our attention penetrates, suffuses our body. These are kind of our active ingredients. Our breath work this morning is no hold, and we'll go right into Uddiyana. So inhale, just as you would normally, nothing grand or super changed. And just straight away, set the hands down, exhale everything out. Feeling the belly draw in. When you feel most empty, continue that drawing in move. Continue that drawing in, and then feel the perineum. Anus, genitals. Feel where there's movement in the pelvic floor, if there's movement in the pelvic floor. Release. Do one more version here. So usually when we squeeze something between our legs, it's usually one very particular distance. So separate the legs wider than a roll. Doesn't have to be super wide. Just, I think I've got a little less than a 90-degree angle, like probably a little more than a 45. And you can use whatever blocks or props against the legs, but just know that in a moment you'll be squeezing the legs together. Okay. You can just use your hands or your forearms to brace. Okay, so inhaling. Exhale everything out. We're doing another round, Uddiyana. Get entirely empty and start to bring those legs strongly against the forearm bones. Draw the belly in. And release. And then choose one more angle. You can go narrower, you can go wider. Completely up to you with the legs I'm going to try this a little narrower. Here we go. Inhaling. And bring the hands forward or help lean the torso forward. Exhale swiftly everything out. Draw the belly in, back, and up. And release when you need. So there might be a couple of us working with some sacral issues, and the purpose of putting the legs out and squeezing them together is that it might help you connect through the front of your pelvis in this disc, this pubic disc. Behaves like a joint. So that's when we start to feel through this pubic symphysis, this pubic bone. Sometimes it helps alleviate pains in the sacrum. No promises, but we can explore. Let's bring the left leg bent right beside the hip, and we'll step the right foot to the ground as we prepare for seated spinal twist. Left arm over right leg. So we're twisting to our right. Feeling the sit bones on the ground. Inhaling. Feel low back. Growing away from the sit bones. Exhaling. Using those low belly muscles. Freeing up under the brain. And release. All right. Let's unwind. We'll go directly to the other side. So I've got the right leg down on the ground, and the left leg I'm crossing over. It's my left knee that points toward the sky. So I'll be turning or twisting to my left. With feet active, feel the beginning of inhale in the perineal body, in the perineum. So where we had been squeezing or activating a little bit. And exhaling. Lightening through core. So keep weaving together our breath and some configuration of our awareness. By configuration, I really mean shape, depth, location. And so we can be very laser focused with our attention. We can be very broad and encompassing. Do you know the difference in your body? Can you feel if you're taking a broad kind of or a narrowing kind of shape of awareness, shape of feeling? And release. Inhale, let's unwind. When we do Dandasana, so legs both straight out in front, a couple of things. I'm placing my palms on the ground right beside my hips and pushing straight down. Now I have kind of long arms, long torso, so this shape, this length works perfectly for me. If you have longer arms, you may have to slightly place them behind you to make up for the torso to arm length difference. But important here is as we push down, two things occur. The shoulders move down, the rib cage lifts up. I'm not lifting my butt up, I'm just decompressing my entire kind of spine, ribs, sacrum. I just now connect to your deep Ujjaya breath. Some of you are familiar with those neck shapes. We had started to kind of do the looking into the navel. It shapes the neck a particular way. You could use one of those neck shapes or bandhas. And simultaneously relaxing the sit bones down as the ribs keep telescoping up. Often when we do a move like this, we have our hands on our hips and we're pressing in that way. Strong leg engagement. And when we release, we'll set up for dolphin. So you can just get a little primer, a little sense of how engaged those legs can be. It's kind of a sweet way of feeling that right angle. And maybe we can replicate here in dolphin, our elbows under shoulders, our knees under hips. Push earth. And here too, shoulders slide away from neck. Exhale, knees off ground. So in a similar fashion, you can feel that gradual and that additive lengthening and unfurling of the whole trunk. I'm unimpacting the whole entire trunk as the sit bones keep growing, lifting away from the organs, away from the lungs. And feel how on exhalation seems to match the exhalation best. Feel how on exhalation the ribs draw down. Down meaning away from the armpits, away from the shoulders. So you can actually induce a lengthening through the front of the ribs. That's it, Joy, that's it. Yeah, Marissa, that's it. All right, now the fun's just beginning. So you can remain right here if you so choose. Option 2 is elevating left leg up. Actively separate the legs, meaning both legs work. My right foot actively presses the ground, so my left leg can stretch away from ground. So in a sense, I'm pulling my right foot forward as I stretch my left leg backward relative to my eyes, my torso. Yeah, that's it, Marissa, that's it. So I'm really actively pulling that right foot into the ground. That's it, Bridget, Good, let's switch sides. We'll set that left leg down. And we'll elevate the right leg. Exhale, draws those ribs down away from the armpits. So I lift, I lengthen the ribs, the rib cage away from the armpits. By pulling that left foot into the ground, as if toward my chest, I'm increasing that hip flexion. I'm working on right into that left hip crease. Yeah, that's it, Joy. That's it. That's where that, there's a really sweet lift that comes from that ground leg kind of pulling, like I'm pulling my left thigh toward my chest. And we'll set that foot down, set the knees down, take a rest. Lie on back. And with the feet off the ground, let's inhale the head, the shoulders up a little bit. Exhale, raise the right leg towards sky, heel up. Place the right palm on the thigh and pull your right thigh into the palm. Palm, push the thigh. The steady, kind of unmoving move. And now draw the low belly down. Inhale, bend right knee. Exhale, go left heel towards sky. Take your left palm to your left thigh. Actively pull the thigh toward your chest. And the left palm, kind of stop that action by pressing back. Draw the low belly down. Inhale, bend left knee. So please note, this is a little different than pushing the leg up, which we often do. Exhale, right leg reaches up, reach through the heel, use your right palm, pull the leg toward the chest, press the palm to the leg, pull low belly down. So you might feel this a bit in your quads or in the hip crease. Inhale, bend that right knee. Exhale, go left heel straight up. Go left palm to left thigh. Pull leg toward chest. Left hand, push leg so it does not encroach near the chest. Pull low belly down. I'm going to do 3 more on each side. So you're going to get a pretty good abdominal hit with these. So continue. It's as if we're piking or strongly folding our leg toward our chest. So I'm not doing any tailbone tuck. If you find it a little too wearisome on your wrists, you can set your head down and use 2 hands on one thigh. We're often stretching the front of the hip, but seldom are we asking that area to work strongly. Here we are, we're asking the hip to flex with a little bit of oomph. By flex, it means kind of folding up together. I'm trying to, almost like a pocket knife, I'm trying to draw my thigh toward my nose, stopping it with the hands. And I'm gradually finding I can take my leg a little beyond 90 degrees. I'm working that in increments. I started at vertical and now I'm moving a little beyond vertical. So this is a nice way to actively fold without rounding or stressing the back. Okay. So after those, please let's rest those efforts. There we go. And so now when we do place that prop, that roller, that block between the legs, we reach the legs up. Interlace hands behind the head and get right into it. Inhale, right down to the hip crease, genitals. Squeeze the block in. So inner thigh to inner thigh. Exhale, float the head and the shoulder blades off the ground. I'm intoning hip flexion. I'm intoning that move I just did as if I'm pulling my thigh toward my chest, but not really pulling, not actually moving it toward my chest. Pull low belly down. Ease up on the efforts. Inhale, head to ground. Squeeze thing between your legs. Exhale, head and shoulders off the ground. So legs will squeeze inwardly. I'm going to mimic that hip flexor move. I'm pulling the thighs closer to my nose without moving them. Lengthening the low back. Draw low belly down. And do one more like so. Inhale, setting the head down, letting up any squeezes, pressures, efforts. All right, I'll squeeze the thing. Exhale, head and shoulders off the ground. And as I'm squeezing inwardly, I'm imagining piking or pulling my thighs toward my navel. without them moving. There you go. Pull low belly down. All right, now when you set the head down, inhale. Take your hands to that roll or that block. Squeeze that prop with your legs. Exhale. Push with the hands against the prop. It's not going to fly out because you're squeezing so strongly. And pull the prop and the legs toward your abdomen. So you're lengthening the low back. Draw low belly down. And inhaling, let up those efforts. We'll just do 2 more like so. So it's like I won't say forcing, but I'm really strongly implying a pike or a fold and not letting it happen. Let's take a breath and inhale. Squeeze the object. Exhale, push the object with your hands. Pull the object toward your chest with your legs. So pull and push. Draw low belly down. Last one, inhale. Squeeze object. Exhale, pull the prop toward your navel. Push the prop, keep it away from your navel. Pull and push. Legs pull, hands push. And release. Well, I hope your hips are warmer. I hope that translates as hip warmth. Let's set up for bridge. And there might be one of us who does not care for bridge, and that's fine. If you want to do lying spinal twist, Natalia, that would be a nice alternate. Or horse stance, twisting horse stance could be nice. All right. So we'll set up bridge, or I'll talk through bridge, and there might be 1 or 2 of us omitting bridge. So I've got my block nearby. Exhaling, shifting the tailbone up, the buttock up, the spine up. Enter bridge. Apply the block under your sacrum whenever you feel the need. And as we work in bridge, working this without dropping the chest toward the ground. So we're not going to compress the back of the heart or even the front of the chest. Inhale, kick the left leg toward your chest. Exhale, elevate left leg towards sky. Now push the right foot into the earth as you pull the left thigh toward your nose. So I'm kind of actively drawing the legs apart. And we'll switch sides. We'll set that left foot down. Inhale, we'll pick the right knee toward the chest, elevating the right leg, but driving each leg in the respective direction. The left leg I'm sending as if behind my body and into the ground. Sending this right leg in front of my body, as if toward my nose. So it's almost like a strongly caused splits. And set that right foot down. We're exiting bridge, so press feet down, elevate off block, lower spine down. Let's turn to a side and we'll press up to standing. From standing, we'll be working a couple more rounds of Uddiyana. Perhaps, I'm just positing here, perhaps with heightened sensitivity for the hip crease and the groin and the pelvic floor, maybe that bandha or the organs around that Uddiyana become clearer. I find that when I start to feel more clarity around a certain area of the body, that clarity can tend to keep spreading. So we'll try it. Take a comfortable stance, hip width, shoulder width. And when you're ready, on exhalation, get empty, remain empty, and draw the belly in. Releasing when you need a breath. And take a moment. There's no rush to get to the next one. We'll do one more. All right, here we go. Last one, Uddiyana. And it begins with the exhale. I find it interesting to actively pull with my hip crease, to pull my thigh toward my chest and to stop it with my hands. Kind of reads up the spine a little differently. Okay. Once we've arrived at standing, working standing splits. So use any amount of support that you require. Let's grab the right foot with both hands. And now we're inhaling, actively picking that thigh up toward the chest. Exhaling, press through the ball of the right foot. Now, instead of pulling on the right leg, can you sense actively separating both legs? You're driving through that left leg, back, and pulling through that front leg forward or up. So kind of like. Yeah, Marissa, that's it. I think. Yeah, totally different. Totally cool. And let's release. And we'll switch sides. So we grab the left foot with both hands. Inhale, actively draw the left thigh up toward chest. And then exhaling, actively move legs apart. Now, will my right leg actually move backward? No, but I can certainly intone it. And wow, the backs of my legs and my pelvis sure do reorganize. Okay. And release. All right, let's stand at the top of our mat. Inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, fold. You might want to fold your hands to blocks. Just whatever you can, bring your hands down to. Okay. From fold, we're moving into vertical splits. Inhale, left leg towards sky. Again, actively pull the right leg toward your nose. Actively pull the left heel toward the back of your head. Now, when our attentional configuration encompasses this kind of high energy moments in our body, it's really cool, and we can start to have an energetic experience, and we can do that energetic work. Okay, warrior one, inhale, set that left foot softly, carefully down, just so you don't like plunk it or drop it. When both feet are actively pressing earth, and by pressing, I mean push those soles of feet into earth. Keep pressing, and now use your pelvic floor, use your perineum between the legs to lightly draw you up. Okay. So it's kind of a little move right across. I feel that right through the pubic bone. So I'm not feeling that in my low back. So there's two ways we can work this stance. You can push your feet apart from one another into the mat. You can pull your left instep and your right heel toward each other. Now again, some of you with sacral issues may feel that one way is a better way to work for now. One of those might radically reduce irritation in the back. Just trying to prompt us to explore some new support ways through the pelvis and especially around the pubic bone, the perineum, the inner leg. And for those of you kind of drawing the legs together, you can feel that it's that little elastic almost support the floor of the pelvis, more commonly called, bandha. Inhale, we'll place the hands down and the left knee down. Please supply knee padding. For your back, for the sake of your back, I'm really trying to make this broadly accessible to all of our back concerns. You may want to fold forward, bringing your right hand to a block. Okay. So the more I lean my trunk forward, the more neutral it is on my low back. We're reaching left hand for left foot. Again, some of you will choose folding forward, and then you might gradually rework trunk up. Release. Inhale, we'll go hands to ground. Exhaling, step right foot back, and we lower from plank to ground. Inhale, Cobra. Lengthening through the guts. Exhale, lower, downward dog. Now, downward dog as an active fold. We could play with this. Okay. We did some moves earlier that helped us intone, pulling our thighs toward our abdomen, or piking. We've done this a bunch in other places when we've pulled our toes toward our hands to practice piking. But this is static. I can pull my thighs toward my abdomen, lengthening my sit bones back. The legs are active. They're quite active. Inhale, step both feet forward. We're stepping into a fold. Remember those blocks you had nearby? We want to be able to put the hands on something, so blocks or ground. And we'll go directly to the other side, vertical splits. Inhale, draw the right leg up. Exhale, actively pull the left shin toward your nose. Draw the right heel toward the back of your head. And some of you working with sacral or back concerns, you might find it worthwhile to explore how your chest lines up over your left leg. If your chest is lined up over the inner left leg, you might try lining the center of your chest up over the center of your left leg. That little weight shift might be what helps the back, those glutes and butt muscles, support your back, support your hip. We're going to carefully set this down into Warrior One. Leave the hands down, lower the right foot, remain lowered, so keep your hands low, your body weight low, plant the right foot. We're not done yet. Press with the feet. And when you feel that pelvic floor, that perineal kind of engagement, we can press the trunk up. So we have the feet and the legs helping our torso up. There's no need to feel twingy in the back. Deepen breath and broaden feeling awareness. You know, it may take some practices to feel the feet and the legs and the perineum, along with the ribs and the organs and the brain and the shoulders. Okay. So what we're feeling at any given moment is part of that configuration. It's helping us learn the shape of our awareness. All right, inhale. Let's take the hands down, the right knee down. Please pad the right knee. Grab the right foot with the right hand. Okay. Back sensitive, lean more forward. You can put that left hand on a block. You'll feel remarkably different configurations of pelvis if you squeeze the right thigh toward the left heel, or if you push them apart. Very different musculature, very different tonicities. Some of you will feel your back configure more pleasingly. I actually feel a nicer kind of support in my back if I'm pulling my right thigh toward my left heel. And release. Inhale the hands to the ground, exhaling chaturanga. We step that left foot back. Inhale cobra. I'm sure you could choose upward dog if you like. Exhaling downward dog. Inhale, step both feet forward, fold. Inhale, stand, draw the arms up. Exhaling, hands to heart. All right. So I was going to do a handstand if this doesn't interfere with your morning. Let's do a handstand right before Shavasana. I know, handstand then Shavasana. If you need to start to move in the direction of work, now's probably your time to take Shavasana. But I just wanted to take a chance to step up or reach the legs apart in handstand. So if you're using wall support, do downward dog at the wall, taking one leg strongly away from wall. So hopefully we got a nice round of kind of pulling and pushing the legs apart. Some of you are kicking up. Find out if that pulling and pushing helps you step up into handstand splits. What we've been doing today is the active pulling and pushing, the active drawing the legs apart from one another. And then lifting right through the mid-back, Nancy. You start to feel the lower and the mid-ribs lengthen toward the sky. That's it, Meg, that's it. Yeah, yes, yes. When those legs work actively apart, I think you'll find a lot of support through the back. Nice, nice, Meg. All right. So just a light dose. Nothing needs to be super intense. We've got Thursday morning for that if you want. When you feel complete, have a seat. Inhale, reach the hands out to the sides. Exhale, reach out through each finger independently, curling them in. Draw the knuckles down and lengthen, like reach out through the wrists. So I'm pulling down, but I'm also reaching out. Okay, I'll add one move to that. Inhale, open up the hands, palms push out to the sides. And then exhale, reach out through each finger independently, curl them in, pull the knuckles down, reach the wrists out, and draw the wrists slightly back toward your back, toward the wall behind you. Okay, keep the wrists, keep the fists curled, lower the wrists. So you're reaching the wrists a 45-degree angle down away from your neck. And opening up the hands. We'll take a really brief Shavasana. If you would rather sit, that's perfectly fine. If you have to check out, perfectly fine. We will take a little moment to at least signal to our body closure. And that's really the important thing. Like, we're more apt to go deeply, to investigate curiously and deeply, if we know, if our body knows there's a beginning and an end. So some of the import of Shavasana is letting our body know, hey, thank you for this incredible journey. As we start to move into the next part of our day. These processes don't just stop because we change task. Right? A lot of these processes continue in our subconscious, they continue throughout the day and the days. New connections take hours and days and even weeks to myelinate, to restructure, to reinforce. So there's truly a body building process as we do these yoga practices day to day, week to week. All right. When you're ready, bend knees. Turn to a side. Help yourself up. It's great to see you. Thank you. Namaste.